Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the worst fucking podcast you've ever heard. Both mics.
All right. Welcome to Both Mics.
Hey folks, Both Mics is a show about nothing and everything. He is Mike Sofka.
And that is Mike Taylor. And together, we're Both Mics.
Welcome to show number 66 of Both Mics Heard Everywhere podcasts can be heard. We are actually live right now on twitch.tv/bothmics. Head on over there. You see us live every Friday night, about 7 o'clock Eastern time-ish. And we run for about 2 hours to 9 o'clock-ish.
Welcome. What episode are we on tonight?
66. Did I not say 66?
I don't know. I might not have heard you. I'm getting old.
Welcome to show number 66. Heard everywhere podcasts can be heard.
Yes. How are you, Mike?
Good. A little bit of a headache. Long week.
Yeah.
And,
so should we have the Quiet Storm show?
Yeah. Can we keep it down a little bit? Shh. We're doing an NPR show.
Yes.
Hey, folks. We have here Roger. Roger's a gardener here in St. Augustine. He plants azaleas and hibiscus. His favorite is Lily of the Nile.
I love hibiscus. Don't you love hibiscus?
Hibiscus are great. What is your favorite color hibiscus?
I would have to say red. The red hibiscus.
I like yellow. Yellow is very nice.
Yellow.
Welcome back. Good morning.
We're doing NPR radio. The IT person here in the building is looking at me like, what the hell are you doing?
Both mics have lost it.
I know, really. All right, well, I'm going to put up the thing.
What's happening in the news?
I'm going to put this up first off because I didn't put it up. I should have put it up. That's where you can find us. You can find us everywhere. Find us everywhere you find stuff. That's the best way to remember it.
Exactly. We're like dirt. We're everywhere. We're dust.
Yeah. All right. Let me get to it here. There's the thing going on right now, and it's called the Take Back Day. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I looking at the picture, I know what it is, and yeah, I've heard of it before.
All right, it's the DEA National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. And what you do is if you have old prescriptions or prescriptions you're not using anymore, or maybe you got some
flush them down the toilet.
No, you're not supposed to do that. No. What you're supposed to do...
I've been doing it wrong?
Well, I'm endorsing the Take Back Day, and through a promotional event with National Take Back Day, you can somehow get them to me. So I'm not going to tell you how to get them to me, but I will tell you, just email me, Mike_Sofka@bothmics.com, and I'll help you out. I may even throw a T-shirt your way or a sticker or something. Shit.
Yeah. So take them back to Mike's house.
Yes, that's what it's about. They say, this is a serious thing, though. They say 9.7 million people misused prescription pain relievers. This is in the past year. This is 2019 National Survey on Drug Use. So, So, being we're talking about that Take Back Day, pain relievers, stimulants, tranquilizers, sedatives, whatever you have, I will help you with that.
I totally understand. Yeah. Being here in Florida, we had a little bit of an issue with people over prescribing pain medication some time ago, and I'm thinking they got a handle on it to some degree, right?
Yeah, I think they shut down those things they call pill mills, and there were some serious abusers of over prescribing, hacks, In my country, I was head of neurosurgery. Here, I am qualified to be janitor. Those guys,
right.
Dishing out pills. Somehow they got the ability.
Got their medical degree in Grenada.
Oh, it's a big deal now. They finally got their act together, though, because, if I go get a certain prescription from my general doctor, which I usually try to, keep up on that shit. So if I need, this is something that I don't always need, but sometimes I need. Anyway, long story short, they have to put you in, if it's meets certain requirements, if it's a pain pill, sleeping pill, whatever, they have to put it in a database as they're prescribing it. And it immediately cross-checks with whether you've been doctor shopping and going from place to place and going to different pharmacies or whatever. Yeah. And then the pharmacy has to go to the database and say they filled it and all that. So it's a lot harder, I guess, to do that.
Yeah.
I guess
Which makes sense, and it was really easy. Why didn't they do that, 20 years ago? You can't even buy, like, Claritin D, the powerful stuff that used to be just regular Sudafed.
Yeah, because they think you're going to make meth.
Right. Yeah. My 15 pills, I'm going to make, all kinds of meth with 15 pills. But yeah, you have to hand over your driver's license, and they scan it, and they make sure you have 15 pills. You haven't been here in the past 15 days.
Your picture's not on a wall. Don't serve this guy.
Right? Yeah.
You ever been in one of those small businesses? And this is going back a little bit because nobody really does this anymore. But places that would have like hot checks. People wrote a check they bounced in it, so they hang your picture up and the check up on the bar. It's like a $4.56 check. Don't take checks from this guy.
Yeah, from Lucky Walk. Yeah, I was just going to mention that when you started into the conversation about it. But yeah, I've seen that before. Like they'll have the name highlighted and $4.02.
There's a certain adult store in the Central Florida area I've been to, and they have their pictures on the wall of shoplifters. So they show the picture of the guy. Oh, no, it's done nicely. It's in a frame. It's got the picture. It's got the description of what they stole and them holding the picture of what they stole. And there's like pictures like old dudes that you would think would qualify for the get off my lawn bit. And they'd be like holding this 10-inch black dildo like this and up in the... And I'm like, yeah, I don't even want to know, dude.
Dude, we need to go there and just ask him to put our picture up, and we'll put a sticker on the frame.
Yeah, right. Well, it sounds like you could just go there and steal something, Mike. You'll get your picture up, no problem.
Oh yeah, sure. A trip to 33rd, nothing better for a Saturday.
Well, I can't. Wow. It's been hard to go a show without talking about the Gabby Petito and the Brian Laundrie thing.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, they found remains, and then the remains have been discovered to be of Brian Laundrie. So it's wow, crazy.
Are of him?
That's what I've seen today in the news.
Today? Okay, I didn't hear any news about it today. I heard yesterday that there were remains.
They said what I had caught when they initially found the remains. They found some of his belongings nearby, and it was thought that for sure that would be him. And they just had, I guess, I don't know if they do a DNA or dental records or how they do it.
Yeah, you got to figure that it would be easy to plant stuff, backpack, whatever the case may be. A utility bill in there,
right?
But and then bones can be bones, but if they can't be identified, or
I mean, I don't know how long the body was out there or anything, but
I heard it was in a marshy area or an area that was previously underwater.
Yeah, it's Sarasota County, I think not far from where they were searching for him, like not far at all. So I'm trying to pull this up here, but let's see. Yada yada, Mykahatchee Creek Environmental Park. That was involved.
God bless you. Gesundheit.
Yes. So the Sarasota County Medical Examiner's Office and a cadaver dog from Pasco County Sheriff's Office were called to assist in the investigation. The remains were skeletal, included part of a human skull.
Well, I guess, part. Now, yeah, okay, does it include the jaw? Because that's how they really do it, right? Dental records, they get in there and they figure things out that way?
I guess. They say this is his remains. In a statement, the FBI Denver's field office, who's been leading the investigation, said that a comparison of dental records confirmed that the human remains in the Carlton Reserve and the Mykahatchee Creek Environmental Park in Sarasota County Wednesday, those were of Laundrie. So I guess they're going to, put this story to rest. I mean, this story's dead now. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Is that too soon?
Not for Nancy Gray. She'll be able to get at least another month out of it.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to bury this. Oh, sorry, is it too soon still?
Yeah.
I don't know. I worked all day on those two.
Those two?
Yes, those two. Yeah. I worked all day. So
paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let me pull their picture off. Hopefully, we got another 50 clicks or so because of saying the name Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito. I know that's sick and disgusting, but hey, what do you expect?
People are interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's senseless.
So I'm trying to find the next thing. I thought I found the next thing last week. With the next case. Remember we talked about that other guy? Marauder, murderer. I don't know. You know what?
Oh, the next big story?
Yeah.
The captivating story, the leading headline?
Yeah, you know what? Screw it. We're going to do the alien update.
All right.
Bus-looking alien! Where? Warning! Alien approaching! Warning! Biophysical experiments extremely dangerous for Earth people.
It's a pretty good robot. He's a little bit of an alien, too, but I think he's an alien.
Oh my gosh.
You alright there, big guy?
Yeah.
I computed the aliens. They are capable of sinister and dangerous acts.
You weird alien man!
All right, you can go ahead and say something for the next few minutes here while I adjust this.
Welcome to the Alien Update, brought to you by McDonald's. Have it your way at Burger King.
We have a short microphone problem here, so I'm adjusting.
Yeah, a short microphone problem or long user problem?
Yes. All that. Hang on, I'm trying to fix her up here.
Yeah.
I got to get a new one of these things anyway. I need one that's a little
square
bit
peg, round hole.
Yeah, all right. Let's see if this will work now. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you
All right.
now.
How come I'm not showing up on the thing here? Oh, I'm showing up. All right.
Yeah, you there, bro.
All right. Sorry about that. All right. So here we are, Alien Update.
Yep.
Reason why I want to do this Alien Update is because SpaceX. And, of course, when we talk SpaceX, that's always our man Elon Musk, right?
Yepers.
Well, first off,
What's he up to?
let me back up a second. If you're new to the program or forget or you're high like most of our listeners, you can just imagine that all these dudes that we talk about in the Alien Update are aliens. Why? Because there's 7 billion people on the planet. There's like 4 or 5 people that have more money than God, and they know how to advance our civilization both socially, culturally, technology-wise. It's amazing the stuff they're doing. So I'm convinced these people are aliens. And if you look at them, you can see them through their eyes. You can see that. You can imagine them being an alien. Like Zuckerberg. First thing I think of it with him, because there's different types of aliens.
Okay.
Like
I didn't know this.
Yes, there's the Greys. Okay. Those are the little short guys, right? With
a spectrum of aliens?
Yes. Well, it's kind of like there's different colored people, different types of people. You know what I mean? You got, people of all colors. Well, you have aliens of all colors as well. So you have the Greys. Those are the short ones. Then the Greys also hang out with the tall ones that are very like them, but they resemble like very slim, very tall. When I say tall, I mean in comparison to the short Greys. So the short Greys may be like 3 to 5 feet, and then the Greys also hang with the taller ones, and those guys are more like human size, but they're a lot thinner. Okay. Then you got this other clan, the reptilians, and that's just what they are. They look like. Remember that show when you were a kid, the Slee Stacks?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
No, well, not awesome.
What was that show called?
Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost. Yeah. Will Ferrell did a remake. Yeah. So you got that. Those are the reptilian-looking people, okay?
Yeah.
And then you got this.
Scared the crap out of me.
Then you got this other.
The anxiety on Saturday morning watching that with the Slee Stack.
Oh yeah, that and the HR Puffin stuff and the.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was. But yeah, no, Slee Stack when they came out, like it was like frightening.
They always made that little. Yeah. Then you got another race, and I forget what they call them, but they're very pale. They're very Nordic looking. I think they're called the Arturians. Very Nordic looking. They're very tall.
Really?
They look like Vikings, basically. And
you have too much free time, Mike.
No, there's other races, dude. Then there's shapeshifters. They can resemble anything.
What?
Yeah. Well, the thing is people think this is a joke. It's on It's on the internet. It must be true.
It must be true.
All right, let's get on the thing here. SpaceX here. There's a giant phallic symbol-looking rocket that is the SpaceX. They're using something new called a Raptor engine, and they were so happy they were able to test this and do this Raptor engine without it exploding. No shit, really? That was what you were.
It's a good sign. Yeah, well, I guess the first time around, they if you can get it to not explode, they're probably ahead of the curve, what they were expecting.
I know, but is it just me where, first of all these spaceships look like a friggin' penis? We can put this back on the comment earlier about the adult store there. I mean, is it just me, or they were hoping the penis wouldn't explode? I mean, what are we doing here? Is this all we do? Did you ever see that program on Netflix? I think it was called Space Force.
No.
Steve Carell did it last year. It's there's 10 episodes. It's a season. I cranked it out in like 2 days. But it was very well done. It was very funny, and you can picture these little idiosyncrasies that these people have, and the little, getting at somebody, and it's almost like a regular work environment. It was almost like watching The Office, but as Space Force. It was pretty funny. It was pretty well done, I thought.
Kind of like Office Space, but different.
No, well, I meant like The Office, like the show, The Office. Steve Carell.
Yeah.
So
never saw it.
You've never seen The Office?
Never seen The Office.
Shut up.
Yeah, dude. I avoid TV. Like Friends, before I got back with Brenda, never seen Friends before in my life.
Really?
Before 2010, never seen Friends. Never seen a full episode of Seinfeld.
Wow.
2.5 Men, before Brendan, never saw it. Big Bang Theory, before Brent, never saw it. Moms, before Brent, never saw it. Something About Raymond, before Brent, never saw it. All those classics that are on like nonstop repeat on the Nickelodeon channels and all the cable channels at night. Now I watch them. Before, no.
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
I was busy. I had things to do.
Well, I also want to talk about, while we're in the alien update here, I'm going to try to pull it up. I should pull this up before I start to talk about it. That would be good. Instead of sitting here waiting for it to come up. I got to get with the IT person in this house. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
Right. Well, on that last story, I remember I saw a quick blip and I saw the test. It was like a 20-second test. Mm-hmm. The rocket didn't even leave the ground. They basically ignited the rocket.
Well, yeah.
Ran it for about 10 seconds and then shut it down.
We're going to shoot this thing. We don't know where it's going to land, but it might explode. Okay.
And it's also the rocket that shoots up and comes down laterally, and then at the last minute rights itself and lands.
Wow.
So they finally got it to land properly. Now they're changing the engine. Whatever.
I don't know. It's crazy. Like you said, like you've said before, they can land this thing on a postage stamp on a barge in the middle of the
Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
Well,
NASA is doing something kind of neat here. Whoa, wrong one. There we go. NASA, they want to buy more astronaut rides on private spaceships. So,
okay,
this is my thing. Is this kind of like the government officials that we have working for us, but they're using public transportation? I mean, or that we're giving tax money so that this guy can get to his office in D.C. every day? Is that what we're doing so he can use his Uber? I mean, I find it fascinating that we're heading into this place where private industry is running things. It's corporate, and
right.
The government's bowing to the corporation. Do people not see this, or is it just me?
I'm sure everybody sees it, but how big can the government be? Like to be able to travel back and forth. Is that really something in the government's best interest when they can just say, hey, this guy over here, we can throw him a bone and he can take care of it light years ahead of what we're doing, and we won't be on the hook for it?
Or let me ask you this.
Yes.
Let me ask you, is this part of that stolen or revamped technology that maybe was reworked? Or what do they call that when, like, let's say we have a plane that goes down in Russia and Russia's able to reverse engineer the plane? Maybe. Right. We were talking about aliens here. This is the alien update still. Check this out. Now open up your mind for a second. Maybe we've already had these technologies and we already know all this stuff, but we chose to give it to private corporations, and that was only done through our politicians so they could receive a cash back to them in their pocket. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given this to the private corporation. And you're right, we would have had a large government and a government scientist building and all this stuff where they would develop these things, because these things cost way too much. They're generated our society to a point, and we've gotten to a point socially and culturally where we can't live without things. Can't live without the cell phone. Can't live without the internet. Can't live without. Pretty soon it's going to be can't live without space travel. So my whole thing is there's a reason why it's privatized, and it's not so we have this competition and we do it cheaper and all this. It's for the politicians to get their money kicked back.
No.
No. Well, all right. That sounds like a well thought out answer, Mike. Good. All right. Appreciate it. Well, you know what? I'm relieved. You said no, so I'm relieved now.
Yeah. It is kind of suspect that that space travel is needed, and for the longest time, it seemed like the U.S. government and NASA was kind of getting out of it. And now maybe they were expecting, or they knew that this technology was coming on with private companies or now public companies, and they decided to shift their abilities there.
All right. So how does all of a sudden there's a bunch of network carriers and cell phones? When cell phones came out, there was a bunch of carriers, and you got charged a premium if you called long distance, and you got you got charged every 6 ways to Sunday. When you got a call come in, it was 35 cents a minute. You paid $50 a month to get those 30 minutes, and you were very careful with your minutes. And now it's being consolidated to maybe a handful of companies, because the corporations, they're building and buying and merging and all this stuff, and that's how it develops. But
usually how it goes with every industry.
Okay, so go back again to what I said. There was like 100, 200 phone companies, whatever you want to say. Okay, however many there were when the cell phones first came out.
Well, when they first came out, there was a handful, and then more.
Yeah, don't do that thing with your arm again, dude. You were like, I thought you were cracking an arm fart there. On the microphone.
My microphone is right here, and I was reaching across to scratch my back.
No, but what I'm saying is, you mean at about the same time, all 100 of these companies just discovered this technology and were able to produce these things? No, they were given the technology. They had to reverse engineer it. They were all given the same thing. It's like Cub Scouts, where you're all given the same car with the wooden block, and you're not able to add anything to it or anything. They were all given the same thing. Now you go make something out of it.
Right. Well, it's all a matter of how you do it. There
you go.
It's all a matter of how you do it. With the boxcar derby, you're given limitations, and there's people who actually will plan out and work the limitations, and there's people who won't. And the people who work the limitations will be the winners.
And and you said it just there. So what the government did was they gave these 100 or so companies this technology, and like you said, the ones who achieve are going to be the winners, and then there's going to be everyone else. They're going to drop off.
Or, I use the Roger Bannister effect. Most people never heard of it. I use it to not metaphorically, I use it to show A lot of different things. All right, Roger Bannister effect. You have AT&T. AT&T comes along, not invents the telephone, but basically makes the telephone countrywide, worldwide, whatever the case may be. They break it apart into different sections, like 9X actually became Verizon, and all these different sections around the country became Sprint. They became this other company. They became Verizon. And then, of course, they'll turn around and like Metro PCS is another one, and Metro PCS is now combined with Sprint, I think, and like everybody has their regular customer, and then they have their discount rate. Like I think Cricket is the discount rate of AT&T, and so you have your AT&T that started off along, and they came up with the cell phone, even though I think Motorola did. And they have the technology. They start their infrastructure. That's why you're paying a lot, because you're paying for them to build the infrastructure. Then MCI or Sprint comes along and says, "Oh, well, look, they did it. Why can't we?" You know, it's now proven. Roger Bannister was the first person to run the 4-minute mile. No one ever before in recorded history ran a 4-minute mile in recorded history. No one said it could be done. Well, Roger Bannister did it. Well, weeks later, months later, all of a sudden, people are starting to run 4-minute miles because Roger Bannister proved, hey, it can be done. And he said, well, if he did it, I can do it. So all these people come along, create competition. Your prices start going down because your infrastructure is complete. Maybe. Quick lesson in economics.
No, I kind of agree with it, but I don't think we'd see these advances without political government kickback. And if you look at people's wealth, take any politician, Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever. Look at their what the reported net worth of these people are before they go into office and then after office. And it's mathematically impossible, even if they saved every penny and invested every penny into a 20% return over 30 years in Congress.
Mike, it's all speaking engagements and book deals.
Yeah, and paintings that sell for $500,000, even though you've never painted. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it definitely opens up doors. That's for sure.
All right.
We need term limits, by the way.
Yes, we do. You're absolutely correct. There was a fireball in the sky not long ago, and everybody thought it was aliens. Everybody thought something was happening. This was spotted in the Midwest.
I had Taco Bell. Sorry.
It wasn't a meteor. What was it, Mike? Do you know?
It was space junk.
Correct. Russian satellite.
Really? Look at that, huh? Right. You see that?
Yeah, there you go, rubbing your microphone in your armpit. That's great. Oh, wait, you said something about Taco Bell before.
Okay. Was that the bell?
Yeah.
Run to the border.
Yeah, I'm trying to do this on the cell phone with the sound effect thing, because if I do it on my desktop or the laptop, everything goes quirky for some reason. So I'm trying to get better.
I'm watching Twitch. If you can see, there's us on Twitch.
All right.
No.
How about the chat? Do we have one person watching in the chat? That'd be great if it was one.
Is it me?
Maybe they're just sitting there chatting with themselves.
Yeah, no one's there.
No one's there. No one's listening, Mike. No one cares.
This is Mike. That's what I just wrote. This is Mike. If anybody else is out there, write something in the chat box.
Nobody's out there, Mike. Nobody cares.
Makes me sad.
I know. I'm trying to do these sound effects here. Nothing's happening. Oh, there. I turned down the sound for some reason. That makes a lot of sense why the fart machine's not working. I was trying to get the fart machine working. Let's try this one. All right. There we go.
Shut up!
Okay.
Well, damn.
It's working now.
Lisa, keep it down.
Right?
What are you doing, step bro?
Uh-oh. Sorry. Wrong page opened up there. Anyway, there's a fireball in the sky, and it was a Russian satellite. So here's my question. If you see this thing ripping across the sky, and you're in the Midwest, Yeah, I'd be worried what it is because you're not expecting it to be a Russian satellite. What if this thing were to land on somebody?
Well, like on your pillow next to you.
Yes, we talked about that last week.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure it's just a picture the way it is, but like, wouldn't you think if something's falling to the ground, it would be on some sort of an angle and not going perpendicular to the ground?
Well, that depends on if you feel that the Earth is flat or round.
That's what I was just thinking. Maybe they have a point.
You know, there is flat Earth society all around the globe.
Right, and some people need to be chased with a stick. Jeez.
How come if I'm standing straight up, if you looked at me from the same angle that you see the Earth, I'd be standing sideways. I'd be all like this, right?
Exactly. If the Earth is spinning at 10,000 miles an hour, how come when I jump in the air, I land in the same spot?
There you go.
I don't get it. Math is so hard.
Nobody told me there'd be math.
Yeah. 5 out of 4 people are bad at math.
Yes, sir. That would be correct. The West Coast is bracing for simultaneous bomb cyclone and an atmospheric river. That was a mouthful. This is according to CNN.com, so it must be true. This is what's going to happen. The entire West Coast this weekend, Saturday or Sunday. Now, depending on when you're listening to this, but hopefully you're able to listen to this if you're on the West Coast. And Paulie, I hope you guys are safe out there, Paulie and Lauren and family. But a bomb cyclone with hurricane-like strength and chart-topping atmospheric river will coincide Saturday night into Sunday to unleash flooding rains, wet snow, strong winds, and coastal surf around the western USA.
Wow.
Bomb cyclone is a system that drops at least 24 millibars in pressure 24 hours or less and typically lowers the pressure, and that's a stronger storm. Atmospheric rivers are narrow bands of concentrated moisture that cruise more than 2 miles above the ocean and release rain or snow when they hit land. This one rates a 5 out of 5. So
wow.
This is going to be dependent on where you are, depending on your elevation, or depending on where you are in a country. Could be like a snow hurricane or like a hurricane with flooding. So this sounds like it could be very bad.
Sounds like it could ruin your weekend.
Now here's my question.
Yeah.
Are they still having those forest fires out there?
I'm sure they are to some degree. They always are.
Okay. Have you ever heard of people saying that the government controls the weather?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No.
I think they have the ability within reason. I mean, there's you've heard of cloud seeding, right?
Yes.
What is that? To the best of your knowledge, what is that?
They do something specific, and they kind of get the clouds to produce moisture.
Ah, so that would mean they're getting the clouds to do rain, and somebody's doing that. So it is possible to make rain. So if it's possible to make rain, and we know that, they're not going to tell us they can make a damn hurricane. I mean, that's why George Bush kept sending all those hurricanes to New Orleans, right? Because he hated black people?
Yeah, I thought it was the gays. I'm sorry. It was one or the other. It gets so confusing.
Now, here's another question. All those cargo ships are out there waiting because they can't unload. They can't unload because you can't just use a regular tractor trailer anymore. You have to use one of these Green New Deal tractor trailers, and they only have a handful of them, and they're very expensive. And then when you get to the dock, there's labor shortages, so they can't get the containers on these 3 trucks. Then those 3 trucks take the product to the state line where it's transferred to another truck where all the 49 other states will accept these other yeah, that's the supply chain problem. So here's the bigger supply chain problem. Is this storm going to blow containers right off these container ships? Are these ships going to flip over? Is there going to be sinkage?
Well, I'm sure they're prepared to some degree for this because Granted, you don't get a lot of hurricanes in Washington State. Seattle, I'm guessing, is where they're talking.
Oh no, they're talking from California all the way up to Washington, Oregon.
So, like, other places have dealt with winds. So I'm sure there's some kind of protocol.
Well, this to me looks like you know how we have hurricanes that sometimes hit Florida and then they go up the East Coast, and next thing you know they're checking in South Carolina. Then before you know it, they're hitting New Jersey. And this is the same thing. That's what this is. It's going to be bad.
Wow, interesting. I hear that, like, you were talking about the containers. I read a headline somewhere that they're like stacking containers like on the side of the street in like neighborhoods.
Yeah,
because there's no place to put these things.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Interesting.
Anyway, this is
They
go on to say in this story here about this event, an atmospheric river marked as a category 4 or a 5 is capable of producing remarkable rainfall totals over 3 or 4 days, likely to exceed 10 to 15% of a typical year's precipitation in some locations. So they're expecting flooding, they're expecting mudslides, they're going to expect earthquakes, they're going to expect... California is going to fall. You can buy beachfront property in Utah right now.
What caught my ear is when you said it's going to be down to 24 millibars.
Yeah.
Like, that has to be wrong. I think, like, a record for a hurricane, at least on the East Coast,
are you saying
it gets down to, like, 28 millibars.
Well, I said it drops at least 24 millibars. I didn't say it was 24 millibars. And if I did, I need to correct it. And let me re-quote this, because I know CNN wouldn't lie. A bomb cyclone is a system that drops at least 24 millibars in pressure 24 hours or less.
Okay.
I don't know that much I don't know that much about barometric pressure. Is that what's our normal? Do you know what our
like 30, 31?
Okay.
Yeah, and like the lower it gets, usually it's the more disruptive the weather is.
Now, I did, my friend Gino Losi, who I went fishing with, I think I told this story before. He's, we were going to go fishing one day, and he goes, hey, we're not going to go in the morning. I'll call you and tell you what time we're going. And I'm like, oh, okay. I thought you had to get up early to go fishing, right?
Right.
So he says, I'll meet you at the dock at around 2. There's going to be a tremendous drop in the barometric pressure, and these fish are going to go crazy. And sure enough, he knew right where the fish were. He knew right where they were going to go crazy. And we rolled up right on time. It was like a reservation at a restaurant. Zzz, boom, zzz, boom, zzz, boom.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. So there's something to it. All right.
I had no idea.
So the government's making it rain on the left coast. We've established that. That's Mike_Sofka at bothmikes.com.
Yeah. Hashtag conspiracy theory.
Well, it is time for my new favorite segment that we do, and I'm stalling here. Here we go.
Get off my lawn. Not in this lifetime, Sonny. Well, I think you're an overeducated 27-year-old version. There's a Mexican, a Jew, and a colored guy go into a bar. The bartender looks up and says, get the fuck out of here. Get off my lawn. Used to stack fucks like you 5 feet high in Korea. Use you for sandbags. Can't you people just leave me alone? Get off my lawn. You'd think the cold would keep all the idiots out. What are all you fish heads looking at anyway? Get off my lawn. You people are nuts. I knew you were a dipshit the first time I ever saw you. You're wrong, egg roll. I know exactly what I'm talking about. You're letting Click Clack Ding Dong and Charlie Chan just walk out with Miss What's-Her-Face. And you know why? Because you're a big fat pussy. Get off my lawn.
All right. So to get off my lawn portion here, I like Clint Eastwood in that movie, by the way, that Gran Torino.
Yes.
Get off my lawn. We talk about these old men, and I like to talk about, you always hear in the news, Florida man. Well, here's old man from Florida, 91-year-old dude.
Okay. He looks a little crooked.
Yeah, well, he's arrested for punching his neighbor, who's 46, in the face.
Really? Come on.
No,
come on.
This is in Lake County. This is in a housing community that I looked into moving to, because It was friggin' sweet. It's off, it's off the beaten path and all this. Is an area called Redtail. It's out there by Eustis. There's nobody out there basically except these, they were $500,000 homes. Now they're probably $1 million homes with the inflation and devaluation. This is according to DailyMail.co. Florida cops say Thomas Conrad, 91, punched his neighbor twice in the face in a spat over property lines on Saturday. Conrad's neighbor, 46-year-old Jack Henson, dared his elderly neighbor to punch him, according to the Lake County Sheriff's Department. Police said they asked Conrad if someone was to ask him to shoot them, would he do it? Conrad allegedly said, then I would have shot him. Police...
If he jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge too?
Conrad told the DailyMail.com that he is a sick individual who doesn't have much longer to live with 9 stents in his heart. I was in bed and I heard a lawnmower in my yard. I don't have a lawnmower. I had to get out of my stocking feet. I went to look and see who's in my yard. He kept saying, come hit me, and he would turn his jaw. I got the impression the only way to end this conversation was to do what he wanted, so I hit him.
Wow. Yeah. So, all right. So then on top of that, the 46-year-old, I guess, then called the cops?
I'm just still trying to get to that part. It's
all right?
Has me
Take a
choked
drink.
Up a little bit. Conrad said the officers roughed him up and that he was locked up for 6 hours with no dinner, at least he didn't call it supper. He said no dinner, no bed, no chair before his daughter posted a $2,000 bail.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Unreal.
That story is cute.
So the 46-year-old, in turn, after telling the old man to punch him, the old man punched him twice, he calls the cops.
Henson alleged that he told his neighbor that he could punch him, but the police would be called. Henson's father, Jack Henson Sr., said the incident was part of a pattern in Conrad's behavior. Henson Jr. could not be reached for comment. Conrad told the Daily Mail that he had extended numerous invitations for dinner to Henson since he moved in recently and had tried wholeheartedly to be a good neighbor before Saturday's incident.
Okay.
I see State Farm commercial here.
Right? But was Henson cutting his neighbor's yard because his neighbor doesn't cut his yard?
I guess there's an argument over the property line. It sounds to me like these two old kooks live together. Check that. These two old kooks live next to each other, Conrad and Henson. Henson's son, who was Henson Jr., apparently was out there with a lawnmower cutting the lawn, and apparently, when you cut a lawn and you got a neighbor with no fence, sometimes you go over a little bit to make sure, you don't want to be a dick and go right down the property line. You want to do a little over,
Right.
Oh, I'm cutting a strip here. Well, this guy probably couldn't stand that, and they probably argued over this before, and
Wow.
91 years old, and he's lived his whole life, probably a WW2 vet, probably a Korea vet. Probably seen more shit than we could ever imagine, and this is what he makes the news for. Punching his neighbor in the face.
I hate when that happens.
I'm going to reach out to this guy, being he's local, and see if I can get an interview with him.
Go for it. I'd like to know the details.
Maybe he's like the Gran Torino guy. Maybe he's all, I stacked gooks like body bags, like sandbags, or whatever, maybe.
Right.
Just
like
like
soundbite.
Yeah, just like Clint Eastwood. I like this guy.
What's up with the shirt? I had a shirt like that when I was in first grade.
What? No, not like this, dude.
No, not like that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about his shirt up top there.
Oh, his shirt. Yeah, that's what old people do, man. Once they get to a certain point, they stop buying clothes and they stay. Like in the 90s, I can remember in the early 90s, I can remember seeing and meeting elderly folks and thinking it was odd that they all dressed like they lived like the Brady Bunch in the fucking 70s. You know, they had the same clothes on. And I was like, this is odd. And same thing.
Yep.
I think it's an okay shirt. It's got a collar on it. He's in a golfing community. Looks like a golfing shirt, you know.
Whatever.
This guy's hip. This guy probably goes and works out, and he's 91 years old. Probably hits the punching bag. He's probably over there all the time at the gym on the little hanging punching bag, you know.
Right. Yo, Rock. Hey, Rock.
The pictures, if you get a chance to check it out, though, the pictures of the houses that they live in, it's freaking huge, dude. Wow. It's freaking, like I said, it's probably $350,000, $400,000, $500,000 home easy when they got it built 10, 12 years ago, and now it's probably
they're not 10 feet apart.
I guess, man. I guess.
I could see if like the houses are 10 feet apart. Like I lived in a community where they were 10 feet apart, and my one neighbor never cut his grass. And like our driveways were on like closer to our border, so our driveways were literally 12 feet away from each other, and he never cut his 6 feet on his side. So I would cut his 6 feet and my 6 feet.
Right, because you don't want it to look bad.
Better.
Right, exactly.
Mine looked better.
Did he ever? Did he thank you?
No, never thanked me. And then on the other side of the driveway, it was always knee high, and I don't know how the HOA never called him out. They probably did. He was a retired corrections officer from Long Island. He probably didn't give a crap.
Wow. No, this shirt here, this is a grunt style shirt. It's got the American flag with like a skull with like a warrior mask. I got this at Buc-ee's.
Get out of here.
No, Buc-ee's. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I had to pick it up when I saw it. You know, it was one of those times where you go to Buc-ee's and you're like, hey, I'm just going to go in here and get a Coke and take a piss and get out of here. No, $78 later.
Yeah, it's the new Target.
All right, check this picture out.
Ugh.
Deadly bacteria found in aromatherapy products sold at Walmart.
Okay, not surprised.
Yeah.
I guess bacteria has a smell to it.
This is just crazy. Better Homes and Gardens aromatherapy. This one they show here is lavender chamomile. I don't know here. I just don't get it. How does the bacteria get into...
Well, it only takes one molecule or cell of bacteria, and then it multiplies, and eventually, it's there. I'm surprised more things don't have bacteria all over it.
This is according to NBCnews.com. An aromatherapy spray sold at Walmart may be linked to 4 cases of highly uncommon bacterial infection that's rarely seen in the United States.
Okay.
Where does Walmart get a lot of their products from?
China.
And I know the ships out there and the broken supply chain, and now with the weather, I don't know if people are aware of this, but big companies like Walmart and like Amazon and Costco, these type companies, they've already secured private shipping for their shit. They're not going through the general thing anymore. At the expense of losing money, these companies are sending planes, cargo planes, to go pick this shit up and make it it's more expensive, but at least they'll have product.
Right. Yeah, with what happened at was it Gaza Strip? Not Gaza Strip, that Suez Canal or whatever, and the supply chain interrupted like that. So
the bacteria, because we'd all know the difference, is called Bacterial pseudomallei. Yeah, spell that.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm surprised more things don't have it. Like, take potato chips. Potato chips, they have like a 7-week shelf life. How does it sit inside of a bag on a shelf?
It's that air they pump in.
Well, yeah, but still, some sort of bacteria has to get in there, has to be there, and obviously the bacteria takes over in 7 weeks by clockwork. But yeah, I don't know. It's amazing that we are not sicker than we are with the way things are preserved and the way things are canned and whatnot.
Oh, that's changing. That's changing because the society, the millennials and so forth that are coming up behind us, they didn't drink out of the damn garden hose. They didn't fall down, break a bone, have it sticking out, and your dad said, rub some dirt on it, you'll be fine, get back in the game. You know, I mean, we have evolved into a country of pusses. I'm sorry, that's what it is. It's the pussification of America. We've coddled and no. Now, I'm not saying beat your kid. I'm just saying your kid doesn't know at 8 that they really a girl wrapped in a boy's body. Okay, let's stop with all that. Let's stop.
Right.
Let's stop with coddling children. Let's let them fall and scrape their knee. You have to learn how to fail if you want to learn how to succeed.
Right. Your kids need a little bit of grit.
I mean, when you learn how to ride a bike, right? You started with the training wheels normally, but it didn't mean you didn't ride a bike because you didn't know how. It's like you said before. People said stuff couldn't be done. They went out and did it. We don't have that now. We have followers. We have team members. We don't have leaders.
And the thing is, I think it's their parents' fault, which would be us, because the way we were treated by our parents, we got out of line. We got the belt. We didn't like the belt. So when our children came along, we didn't do the belt because we didn't like the belt. And now
we did timeout.
Yeah, we did timeout, and now our children don't have the grit because they didn't struggle and they didn't get their butt whooped. They got timeout. Well, so it's an ebb and flow.
Well, I want to, the way that I did things was not so much with I figured this. When you're up to like maybe toddler age, if you're reaching for the hot stove, I'm going to smack you in the ass to associate so that you can't reach for the hot stove, okay? I'm going to make you understand it because I can't communicate effectively with you yet. But once you're at a point where you can talk to me and we can talk to each other, there's no reason for me to hit you. So standing in the corner, timeout, stuff like that, okay? But there's still repercussions. Not everybody gets a goddamn participation trophy.
Right. Yeah. Now, and to a degree, it's their parents' fault. Because, when they lost, they always wanted the trophy. So we got to make our kids feel good. We got to be friends with our kids. Here's the trophy.
I remember that Progressive Insurance commercial with Flo. They had to take it off the air because Flo was eating ice cream after a kid lost the championship game or whatever. And the kid said, "Can I get sprinkles?" And she goes, "Sprinkles are for winners." Jesus.
That's harsh. That's harsh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Did your first two children, did they play sports at all when they were growing up or no?
My daughter, no. My son, yes.
All right.
He played football a couple of years.
Was that the participation trophy age? Because Trey got participation trophies too. So
yeah. He played in like first grade, and then he skipped to like 10th grade and started playing 10th and 11th grade, and he loved it. And now in high school, it wasn't participation trophy type of a deal.
Exactly.
But first grade, I'm pretty sure. Award ceremony, everybody got a certificate, and all that crap.
So if we saw a change or a turn, because that's part of my goal as a parent. I want things to be better for my children than they were for me. I didn't live in squalor. I want to be clear. I didn't live in a bad. My parents are still together after 55 years. So,
wow.
What I'm saying is, I think we try to make it better for our kids. I just think this last time around, the kids that we've raised are now raising kids. And though that next generation there is the over-coddled generation, because I think we wanted to make it easier, and they want to make it even better for their children than they had it. And I don't think our kids had it that friggin' bad.
No. Granted, they didn't grow up in the 80s like us.
Right.
The ultimate of awesome.
Yeah, well, I got to see all the good bands. That's all I got to say.
Yes, exactly. Twice.
Yeah. If you'd have told me that there would have been a festival of music that travels the country and all you hear all night is boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants. And there's lights and lasers and smoke and you're putting these jelly things under your tongue and you're having sex with random strangers and it's boots and pants
Okay.
This would play better if I took that big bacteria picture off there. I know. All right. That's a picture of a Roku remote that I put up, and we're just under 5 minutes to go here.
Hey, folks, find us on Roku.
Yeah, right? Not yet. There's a big fight with Roku and YouTube. YouTube is mad because Roku is pulling YouTube off their service. So if you get Roku service, or if you get Roku TV that comes with Roku already equipped, so look out for that if you're watching YouTube on your TV or on your computer or something through a Roku device. Which I don't understand, because with a smart TV, even though if it's a Roku TV, you can still go to that. I guess you can't go to the app page, and maybe they're going to pull it out of the app service. I mean, because it's like a computer.
If your TV has access to a Roku app, your TV more than likely has access to the YouTube app.
Well, I think what they're doing is they're taking it off their. Roku has an app or a box on their own, and that's how I first got into digital TV instead of cable and so forth, was through the Roku box. But I want to show up one more picture here, and I want to talk about this one more thing here before we go.
Yeah.
That's a picture of an abandoned Jungle Cruise ride.
Okay.
Why would there be an abandoned Jungle Cruise ride? This is according to InsideTheMagic.net, which we've discovered is like a blog type piece. But there's other pictures up there with a castle and with a tower for like sky buckets and stuff. This is Disney Parks. This is what this is. This is apparently there's an area in, I'm assuming this is in Japan. Japanese Disney Parks with Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. Another theme park was meant to become a Disney park, but then it was left to rot.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a whole park. There's another picture of the teacup ride sitting there all weather beaten and beat to hell, and there's videos, and I don't know, that's the only picture I could get up to cooperate with me. But just picture the castle at the Magic Kingdom, and there's all trash around, there's all mold on the like weather beaten, there's some graffiti on the wall.
Somewhere in Asia?
What's that?
Is it somewhere in Asia?
This is in Japan.
Yeah, well, that's Asia. Hello. Yeah.
Are you calling all Japanese people Asian? Is that what you just did?
Yes.
They're not going to take your microaggressions, bro. You need to be PC, bro.
That's kind of strange that they would get to a point where there's actually a park before they would have any sort of approval for it. That's kind of weird and dumb. And why would there be a second park in Japan? Japan's not that big. I'd have to read that.
This is called Nara Dreamland, was operational 45 years, but took a substantial hit once Tokyo Disneyland was built. So I guess
it wasn't a Disney park. It was a.
They were calling it a Disney park here, though.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll have to read it.
Further down. That's how they get you. Abandoned Disneyland knockoff.
Right.
That's what it was. So they had the fake Pepsi, then Pepsi rolled in there and said, no, stop.
Well, wasn't like Rainforest Cafe, wasn't there another concept very similar to it?
Amazon Forest Cafe. And the reason why I know that, and it was located on iDrive, and the way I know that is I received a phone call the other day, and I had the caller ID on the cell phone, and it said Amazon Forest Cafe, and I looked at the number, and I didn't answer it. They didn't leave a message, and I did the Google machine, and that's what it told me it was, but it said it's closed. But somebody was calling me from that number. I didn't understand. So,
wow, they were calling from the past.
Yes.
Interesting.
They were the small grays with the reptilians calling me from the past. Yes.
Yes, it was Doc Brown and Marty.
Yes. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up here. We got like 25 seconds. So thank you for watching. If you're on twitch.tv/bothmics, stick around. We're going to be coming right back. All right?
Cool.